Good afternoon, it's Trishad's Gabby. Hey folks, I just popped open that box of knit pennies there. We're going to go through that today. I didn't have marked when I got them, but I'm sure I got them within the last month or so. And let's see what we find. Let's see if we get 3 pounds of copper and a handful of wheat pennies, hopefully 10 or more. And anything else. I haven't gotten the Canadian pennies like I used to. I used to get several per box. For some reason, I haven't been getting as many lately. But hopefully we'll find some fun stuff. Let's get started. Check out this thing. I might have to quarantine the house. Golly. Well, this is the first row. I got 8 coppers in the first row. I've got this new felt tabletop now, and it gets real dusty, seeing as how I'm kind of a pig. And so I use this clothes duster to help clean it up. I'm in the 6th row, and this is really the first thing I found. Other than copper, I have found right close to my 9 each row. I think I've been like 7 and 10 each time, something like that. But we come to a 2009. We got us a Lincoln Memorial here. Lincoln on a log. It's a little after 8 p.m. I stopped for a while. My cousin showed up. This is the cousin that I visited in Florida a little while back. He is up for a high school reunion tomorrow. I think he's five years younger than me. No, wait a minute. I don't know. Something like that. 3 or 5. Maybe it's 3. The house I'm in now is the house that he grew up in. Kind of cool. Well, the very next row, and I get a Canadian copper penny. That's cool. 1965. I like finding those. Oh, I found this also. Pretty nice condition, pretty shiny. When me and my cousin were growing up, I guess we were, I don't know. Oh, I guess I was 13. I'm thinking he was 3 years younger than me. And maybe not quite 3. Yeah, because he's 5 years younger than my older brother. Okay. Sorry about that. 82. My brain's just not remembering everything. But anyway, we were good buddies growing up. And, we would argue and fight every now and then, but most of the time we was real good buddies. They built a subdivision down the street from us, because when we were growing up, it was all woods and fields and, cornfields and woods and that sort of stuff, all the way around us. And they tore down, they cut out these woods and was building the subdivision. And the first 3 homes, they made showroom houses out of them, furnished. And to us, they were real unique. I mean, today, if you look at them, they're like nothing. But back then, it's like they're so different, And we would go in. Oh, there's another 2009. Oh, cool, the log cabin. There's 2 of those. We would step into the homes while they were showing them during the day, and then we would go unlock a window. And then when everybody left, we would come back and open the window and climb in and just hang around like it was our house. They had a bed, had a radio built into it, and we smoked back then, and we'd take our soft drinks or whatever. And we'd even take a couple friends with us. They'd meet us, and we'd let them in the front door. and we would just hang out like it was our home. Oh my goodness, we got caught once or twice. You talk about mad people. They didn't call the police, but they threatened to. But they were mad. But we did it again. We didn't care. Hey, the next row, and there's another Canadian copper. Little bit tinged up. 1974. Nice. Nice, nice. I like those. I was putting a few Canadian coins away that I got today, and I pulled out my box of Canadian coins. It's getting pretty heavy. And I got a bunch of rolls in there that's got these. It's got the 3 different weights in it I have rolled up. I haven't put a new roll in there in a long time. I haven't added enough Canadian coins to my collection to fill a roll in quite a while. 82. When they first broke ground, they cleared out some land back down the bottom of the street, and we're just barely getting things started. And there was a creek that ran through there, and it was like a seasonal creek. There was always a ditch, but there wasn't always running water. Is that another Canadian? It's a newer one. $1990 something, not copper. And we would go down there and just see what all they were up to. And in this creek, there was it kind of spread out where they kind of leveled it out, where they were leveling out dirt. And there's a big leveled out area where this creek was, and the water was clear as crystal. And so we got into it, and the mud was real fine, and the mud was up to our waist, but the water above the mud was just literally a few inches. Oh man, we had fun in that. I'm sure today they'd say, there's so many parasites, blah, blah, blah. It's a wonder you ain't dead. But, we drank that healing hose water to make to make sure that we were okay. Actually, just right up the little hill. You go down to the bottom of our hill, and that's where all that was. And then up the other side is where the water pump was, just right on the side of the road. The well, you could just pump water up, and it was always so cold. And so there was that subdivision that's there now is in between us, and that's where the old cemetery. It's like the oldest in Louisville. And it's just right down the road from me. Down this hill, then back up the other side, and that's where the cemetery is. And that's where the well was, right at the road. And man, we drank from that 1,000 more times. We had some good times. Copper. I'm in the 12th row, and hey, we come to our first wheat penny. It's a little worn. Maybe it's old. I hope. Oh, yeah, that is old. 1918, Philadelphia. We're talking, is that 107 years old? That's nice. Cool beans. 1918. Yeah. Well, that's a fun one. Motorcycle just went by with some loud music playing. When I grew up, my grandfather had, I think it was like 13 something acres right here in this area, this plot. 82. And the other back side of his property, there was a woods and stuff. I thought, we had no idea who owned it. There was never anybody there. To us, it was just like abandoned property. Obviously, I guess somebody owned it, but nobody was ever there when I was growing up. I never saw anybody there. And we were teenagers, and we went back there one time. My father had purchased at some point when we were younger, when I was little, a family-sized tent that I think we only used with the family once or twice. I don't think my mom was much of a camper. Just like my wife, she doesn't like camping either. Unless it's a nice cabin, with running water and all that. But when I was a teenager, me and my buddy that lived here, we set up that tent back there in that abandoned property, and we just left it there. And we'd go back there, during the day. It was back there for weeks and maybe a couple of months. I don't know. Anyway, a couple of girls that we knew that it was there, and they had run away from home. And they stayed back there for a little while, and we would take them stuff, to drinks and food and stuff like that. And they were back there for maybe a week. I don't know. I think they finally just went home. But, I never saw their parents or anything. I never knew what became of it, but they just stayed back there, and we helped them out. 13th row, and here is another 2009. This one's not quite as nice as the other two, but I guess it's nice enough to keep. If it's any worse than this, I wouldn't keep it. I believe that's 3 different of the 4 designs I've already got. That'd be nice to get all 4. I'll show you if I do. I think the presidential one, the one that I don't have yet, is the one they made the least of. Where he's at, what is the White House that's not finished yet, or something like that. I'm in the 21st row, and looks like a 1950, but man, it's rough. He's got a big old gouge on his cheek there. It's so deep you can see the copper underneath there. 1950. Oh, I can't even tell. Might be a mint mark. I think it's Philadelphia. Well, that is weeding number 2, but that's a rough one there. So you didn't know this, but just a little bit ago, I looked up at the clock, and it was, I don't remember, 8, going on 9 o'clock, I guess. And I thought, oh man, I haven't walked. I've started a thing several days ago where I'm trying to get at least a 15-minute brisk walk in every day, 82. And so I'm like, I got to get up and walk. So I just threw my house shoes on, headed out the door, and I got my, I've never done Bluetooth. We've got Bluetooth stuff around here that came from an auction several years ago. It's still got the old mic. You charge them with the micro things, And I have, in the past, gotten 1 or 2 hooked up. None to this phone. I haven't done it for a while. But I need to get one set up because I play my phone just as loud as I can so I can hear it good while I'm walking. And tonight I put on Rick Wakeman's Journey to the Center of the Earth. It's a 40-minute album, but I played the first 16 minutes of it. And then I ended my brisk walk with a little huff and a puff. But I got my walk in. I'm trying to do this more, just, heart health and all that sort of stuff. I should have been doing it a lot more, but I hadn't been. And I've noticed, 82, I've just noticed that I'm winded easy and that sort of thing. So it's like, okay, we got to do something. The night before, I played Nectar. It's I think they're an old German band or something like that. And, what's the name of it? Remember the Future. And I just played side 2. Side 2 is all they had on YouTube was you could play side 1 or side 2. And, oh my goodness. Look at that. That's cool. We got the King. 1946, King George. That's fantastic. I love finding these coins. This one's not the best I've ever found, but it's still fun to find them. That is totally cool. Man, I like finding those. Neato. So anyway, I played, it was 19 minutes. I did a 19, I wanted to hear it all, so it was a 19-minute walk. So I guess here pretty soon I'll probably play side one. But it helps me just, I don't know, I walk better and I walk faster and I just get into the rhythm of it and enjoy the music. I'm thinking about getting a book on CD and trying that. Not CD, a book online, something like that. I don't know. I think we're hooked up through the library with my library card, and you can order books online or something like that. That's what I'm hoping to do. I just haven't put it together yet. This is the 23rd row in the box, and here is my fourth 2009 Memorial. This is Illinois. This is the third. I still don't have the fourth one yet. All of them I found tonight have been pretty decent. I have certainly found some that are pretty yucky, but all of them tonight have been decent. So I'm keeping each one. I got quite a few rolls of them, but that's all right. Have y'all seen silver? Wow. Silver went up over $43 today. Is that amazing? Golly. And copper is still, about the same. I think copper pennies are still 2.97, just a hair under 3 cents each. I am in my 24th row in this box, and here is my third wheat penny. Welcome site, 1957, Philadelphia, wheatie number 3. So my friend here just a few weeks back gave me this felt mat thing. See? And it doesn't cover the whole table. See, it ends right there. And then just where these boxes are, it goes to right here. Pretty big thing. It folds in half. And on the other side, there's kind of like a vinyl type. But I'm doing the felt right now. And it's really cool. It feels good and all that. But these mats, when I would use my regular table, I would put a piece of tape on each end to keep it. Oh, Canadian copper, cool. Anyway, I would tape it down so it wouldn't slide around. But tape doesn't hold on this stuff. I've tried it; it don't work. What year we got here? Oh, an old one, 1956. I think 53 was the first one with the Queen. So anyway, it doesn't slide as bad, on this felt. It kind of holds it a little bit. But when I'm taking the zinc pennies off, it tends to slide a little bit. It's a little bit of a drag. I can deal with it, but it's a thing. You know what I mean? 82. And 82. Oh, I missed my little jar. All right, one more roll in this half, and we will move on to the second half. I got a story to tell you in the second half about a dream I had. Hey, while I was out doing my banking and I went in checking, taking coins back in the machines, this is all the stuff I found, plus a couple of tellers said, I got some stuff for you. So this is all the conglomerate of what they gave me. Here's 97 cents in U.S. currency, and some of it's bent up. I'll have to straighten it up. I got Libya. I got 2 slugs. England, Mexico, Germany, the Euro, Guatemala. 2 tokens. One of them's from, I think, Memphis, and one of them is from a zoo. Several Canadian, and check this out. This had actually got out of a machine. Ha ha! Look at that, guys. 1948 silver quarter, and then is that 8? I forgot. at 18 or 16? 16, 1916. 2 silver quarters. Wow. I don't get silver quarters very often because I don't search boxes or bags hardly ever. So that was a lot of fun finding that. So here we are in a penny hunt, and we're going to the silver box, 2025 silver box in a penny hunt. All right, guys, welcome to the second half of the box. We are there. Roll 1, second half. Thought I'd just go ahead and tell you about this dream. And it seemed like it was a really short dream, and you know how dreams are. They don't make much sense. I'm just 82. I tried to remember just pulling stuff out and, okay. All I know is just out of the blue. It wasn't like I worked into it. It's just like all of a sudden I'm in this circumstance where I'm looking at a penny that I'm going through in my roll of pennies. And it is the craziest thing. It's everything about it's wrong. It's got a big cud, right in here, big old cud. But there's just lines through it. It's just, it's as if it had like 10 different varieties all at the same time. It was one weird looking coin. And but you could tell that it came from the mint that way. You could just tell by looking at it that it just, everything about it wasn't right, and I'm sitting there looking at it, admiring. And then you guys start talking to me about it, and we're talking about this penny and what we think about it. And it didn't occur to me until just earlier today. Well, actually, after I'd already started the box, it's like, well, I guess I was doing live or something. I don't know. In the dream, it's just like y'all were there, and we were just talking about this crazy penny that I just came across. And then all of a sudden, boom, it was over. It was just almost like as soon as it came, it was gone. But I was just like, that was weird. Oh. I wish there's some way I could see it again. I wish you could see it. Oh, look. That's funny because at the beginning of the box, I said something about wishing I could start getting some more Canadians. And here they are. I'm getting them tonight. Getting several of them. 1978. Every one of them has been kind of older. All of them are the 3.2 gram. I think that's what they are. From 1979 and older. I am now in the second row in the second half, and here is Wheatie number 4, 1937, Philadelphia. Wheat penny number 4, very nice, cool beans. Love finding those Wheaties. I don't think I'm going to finish tonight. I think I'll finish in the morning. It is 10 o'clock out of the nose right now. And I got something to tell you about my sleeping too. We'll talk about that in another roll here in a minute. Copper. Dude. Oh, is that another Canadian right there? 82. It sure is. And it's another old one, I believe. Yeah, 1975. Cool. Yeah, that's several of those I've found now. Hopefully, I'll find several more. The lighting, I gotta adjust my lighting a little bit. Usually those 3 little VDB letters pop right up there on these newer 2023s. I don't know. I can't even speculate on the copper. I mean, I'm getting some, but I don't know if I'm at anywhere close to this. It feels so gritty. I'm going to weigh it. It's probably zinc. Oh, yeah. I'm in the 5th row in the second half, and here is another 2009. I'll keep this one. It's not too bad. pretty nice. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. Here's one I found a minute ago next to my 1909 SVDB. I'm not keeping this one. He's still a little bit too far gone for me. So I'm not going to keep that one. 82. Guys, I have gone through 9 rolls into the second half, and I'm tired. I'm going to call it quits. We'll take one little look at Lily Langtree, the Jersey Lily, and we'll call it quits. We'll see you all in the morning. All right, guys, good morning. It is a little after 9. I've been up for a long time, but just now getting in here to this next. This is the 10th roll after in the second half. We'll see if anything shows up here. I slept pretty good to start with, but then I woke up somewhere during the night and couldn't get back to sleep. I've been having sleep problems lately, and in fact, I hate to say this, but we haven't even been sleeping in the same room for the last several days because I have just not been sleeping good. And it's not so much that I've been waking her up, but how would I say it? When I get up, I'm just up, and I'll like get up, turn on my phone and stuff. And we've determined that, the phone is not the best thing for you, for your sleep at night. And so I have found that if I read a little bit from an actual book, not from a screen, it helps me get back to sleep pretty quickly. And so I have to turn on a light for that. So we've just decided for a week or two, until I can get back into a better rhythm of sleeping, I won't be using the phone to try to get myself back to sleep when I'm just wide awake, 82. So I just grabbed an old book, a Western novel, and I'll just read a few pages here and there, and then I usually go right back to sleep. But last night, I slept maybe 6 hours, which ain't too bad. I was hoping for 8. But I got up really, I went to bed 10:30ish. Got up really early this morning. I've started walking again here just this last week, trying to get back into the habit of that. So I'm walking every day. Last night, yesterday was just running around busy all day, so I didn't end up walking until like after 9 o'clock last night. Down around my neighborhood. And I play that music. I have the music on my phone as loud as my phone will go. I hope I'm not bothering these people down here. I'm gonna try later today to get a earphone charged up and see if I can get it, what's the word? Not synced, not tethered. I can't think of the right word. Anyway, hooked up with my phone. This is my 3rd book. I just recently got started. Here's the next row, and we find another weedy. Cool. That's number 5. I think paired is the word I'm looking for. Oh, that was a 45 Philadelphia. I find mostly Philadelphias, except for some of the 50s. The older ones I usually find mostly Philadelphia. My wife is going to make her famous carrot cake today because we have a couple of people that are wanting to try it. And one of those people's, it's their birthday, yesterday or today, yesterday. So we're going to get it for her, kind of in honor of her birthday. But it's just she's been wanting to try it, so we're going to make it. We as in she. This is the 15th row, and here is another wheat penny, guys. Nice. 1956 Denver. Cool beans. I think that's like 6 of them. So we had a bunch of eggs in the fridge that needed to get used. And so my wife said, I'll just, we do the lunch with my mom almost every Sunday. So she's like, I'll just go ahead and make a bunch of deviled eggs for tomorrow. And she's going to probably make a dozen or so for me because I like pickled boiled eggs. Love them. So she's going to, I've got a jar of it that had a bunch of pickled in there. She'll just add them to that jar and let them sit for a week or two. They'll pickle up pretty good. The first batch is better, but if you let them sit there a while, they'll pickle up quite nicely. And then she just popped her head in here. She goes, I got to run next door to Mom's. She goes, because I put all the eggs in the bowl and I forgot I needed a couple for the cake. Oh, well. My mom has a bunch of tomatoes sitting out on the deck. And she's also going to tell her, make sure she doesn't freeze all of them or can them or do anything else because she wants her to have, we're going to have just like cold sandwiches tomorrow along with the deviled eggs. And she's going to remind her, just ask her to leave some of the bigger ones out for just tomato slices. And we're having a friend over for dinner tonight. She's making some type of spaghetti. And he's vague. He was like, I'll be there between 5 and 6. And we're like, well, what time is dinner supposed to be ready, Okay. People that don't ever cook don't ever think about what the wives have to, how they plan and that sort of thing. With 8 rolls to go left in this box of pennies, I have another wheat penny. This is number 7, I believe. 1955 Denver. Cool. Wheatie number 7, not too bad. One of them over 100 years old. That's really cool. I was just remembering when me and my buddy, I believe that's, let me weigh that guy. When me and my buddy took off to Texas, yeah, it's copper. We spent our first few weeks in Corpus Christi, but then we shot over, all day to Odessa, Texas. And that's where we ended up getting our jobs. And when we first got there, there's a lake, pretty good sized lake, and there's a park there, and there's a bunch of young people hanging around. So we pulled in there and we was talking, and that one is zinc. And the wind was blowing pretty hard, and that time I had a straw cowboy hat, 82. And it just cut my hat and blew it off right into the lake. And we literally had to go to the other side. We sit there and talked for a little bit and just kept our eye on my hat, and then finally drove around to the other side of the lake and waited for it to show up. It blew all the way across the lake. And I just shook it off a little bit, let it dry for a minute, and stuck it back on my head. Not a problem. I liked it down in Odessa. I enjoyed it down there quite a bit. 5 rolls now left to go in the box, and here is another Canadian copper penny. I wonder if this is one of the 81 or 82. Might be older than that. It is. I don't know what made me think that. Let me look. Is there something different? Huh, I don't know. For some reason, I just looked at that and I thought, well, that's one of those in betweens, because this is the older, this is the 3.2, and this is like, what is it, 2.8, something like that, grams. I don't, it, for some reason, I just saw that and thought, well, that's one of those. I don't know why. That's what it is anyway. Cool. Like to find those. Also, while we were in Texas, we went down there in my buddy's Trans Am. Really nice looking car. Super nice. And trucks were cheap down there. This was back in 1980. And there was the oil boom going on. And so anybody that reached any type of like management or overseer, over a group or something, companies would buy them trucks. And so you could buy trucks pretty 82, pretty cheap. I bought a 1970, 10 years old, 1970 F100 for $400. Ran really nice. It looked something like this. This ain't the exact one. 82. I should have a picture of mine somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Here is the last row, guys. We'll go through this and see if anything shows up. After this, we'll weigh the 82s. After I weigh the 82s, we'll pop over to the 2025 Silver Finds box. I'll get those put away. Fun meeting at the silver box with a box of pennies. Yep. And then at the end, we'll weigh our copper and see how close we get to 3 pounds this time. There's a S, 1970, San Francisco. Charlie Kirk's memorial service is going to be in 82, Arizona. Oh goodness, this coming week. And his wife is taking over the helm for Turning Point. And she has suggested, not commanded or not said anything like that, but she has just suggested, rather than sending flowers to the memorial, she said to consider donating to Turning Point USA. I think I'll do that. A tribute to... Oh, look at that. We did find the wheat penny here in this last row. That's cool. It's number 8, 1946 Philadelphia. 8's not too bad. One of them being 100 years old. Plus, besides that, we also got a King George. Several more Canadians that I've gotten here lately. So that's not bad. Now we'll just see how close we get to the 3 pounds. It was sure fun finding all those foreign coins and tokens and stuff this week. Pretty neat. Adding another 80-something cents to my free money. At the end of the year, I'll have it tallied up and tell you how much I found. It's not like a huge amount, but it's free. 82. Almost done here. I got that Nectar album in my head this morning. Remember the future. One of the lines I like from that is, your life is longer than you live. I thought that's pretty good. All right, guys, welcome to my 2025 Silver Finds box. I've got my 82s weighed, but man, pretty neat finds yesterday. 2 silver quarters, one of them being a barber and old, over 100 years old. Isn't that cool? I just don't find many silver quarters. I think this makes 3. 1916 and 1948. That's so cool. Oh, it's a San Francisco. Neat. That's neat. I don't think the barber was anything. Yeah, cool beans. That puts me, guys, at 186 silver coins, and it just keeps going. Still got several months left in the year. There's my Wheaties, my Canadian pennies, my King George, and my 2009s. But anyway, let's grab these copper pennies, and we'll just spin around here and put them on the scale and see if we got 3 pounds. I'm thinking it might be a little bit shy. The sun is shining. It's hard to see. It's an wow. If you take into consideration the box, we are about 1 ounce to 2 ounces shy of 3 pounds. Actually, a little bit better than I was expecting. I thought it might have been a few ounces less than that. So pretty cool. I'll get this added to my box up here. And, I got a bag of dimes yesterday. So we'll see you next time with this bag of dimes. See if we find any more silver dimes in there. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon. I'm leaving my house right now, and I'm going to show you where this took place. Okay, we're going down there. This is going down to the bottom of the hill. And it's these first 3 houses right to my right. Right over there. I'll try to come around and get that better. Anyway, those are the 3 houses they built first that we used to sneak into. But before all of this was done, right here, right behind these houses right here, is where that creek was. It's still a low spot back there. And that's where the mud was waist deep, but the water was just a few inches deep. It was really cool. This is the backside of the old cemetery that's real old. That's where we were at, right down there, where that car is coming. And that's right through there is where the little creek went through. And this is back up the hill. Oh, let me wait for that guy. Oh, it's busy out here, good grief. And right about where that water telephone pole is, no, right here. That's where the pump was, where we could drink the water, right there. And there's the old cemetery. I think I made somebody behind me a little upset. But back in that back section back there, man, it's back in the 1700s back there.